trying to pay off debt, but these everyday bills are not cooperating. Every time I knock the debt down, something else wants my money. I can't pay everybody at the same time. At this point, it feels like my paycheck is being passed around all over the neighborhood. Community property. Mhm. Let's talk about trying to get out of debt while still trying to survive. Check this out.
Got paid today and also went broke today. Nobody fucking talked to me.
The way you get out of debt is not about math. You get sick and tired of being sick and tired. You have an I've had it moment where you say, that's it! I've had it! And until you've had that moment, I can't.
For those of you living paycheck to paycheck, how are you making ends meet? Got paid Friday, put money on the rent, bought groceries, made sure the boys had a little bit of money in their pocket for the school week, and it's all gone. How?
Just pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Baby, I've pulled my bootstraps so far up that they're flossing my ass crack. I'm allowed to complain about working full time when it's not allowing me to live comfortably like I was told that it would my whole life.
Question. For $1 million. Yes. Okay, whoa, hold on. Let me finish. Okay, sorry. All right, so for $1 million, absolutely. Without a doubt. I'll do it. I got bills, you know? You don't even know what I was going to say. You know what? You're right. You're absolutely right. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish. Thank you. So, for 1 million in a heartbeat. Oh my God. Question.
I used to think that after paying my bills that, look, I've got this extra money. I can just do whatever I want. Well, didn't work out so well for me because I really needed to be saving that money. I needed to be putting some more into my retirement. I needed to be putting some more back for like my emergency fund, my 3 to 6 month fund, and I paid for it later. So I just want to let you guys know when you have that extra money left, use it wisely. Yes, you can still have some fun and do some fun things, but don't use it all. Save your money.
I'm gonna be honest. Living paycheck to paycheck is fucking exhausting. It's not just the money, guys. It's the constant stress. It's the constant worrying. It's the constant, are we going to have enough money to pay this bill or that bill or go do this or afford groceries? And the worst part, having to tell your kids no. Not because you want to, but because you have to. I've been there. I am there. But I've made a decision. I'm not staying here. I'm not going to keep living a life where I stress about groceries, where I stress about if I get to go on my kid's field trip and pay the electric bill. I'm not doing it anymore, guys. I don't have it all figured out yet, but I'm going to. And that's enough for me right now. If you're in this stage too, just know you're not alone.
Bro, living check to check is literally depressing as fuck. Like, ain't no fucking way. You just get paid. Right after you get paid, you got this to do, you got that to do, you got this to do. You look back at your fucking check. Well, your bank, whatever the fuck you get your money from. And it's damn near the fuck going. And you ain't even use nothing for what you really wanted to do. Like, that shit is actually, like, sickening. It's actually fucking sad, bitch. It's really sad. Like, I'm sad as fuck. Like, I'm contemplating on even if I should, like, purchase anything else, like, at all. Or should I just wait until my next check? But even though, like, I know I'm going to get the money back, it still just be like, why? Like, why? Why do I have to be broke before I have my next check? Like, that just it just doesn't feel right to be broke before my next check. Like, I like to have money before my next check because it's like I manage my money well. But I'm really contemplating on if I should spend this $33 on this shit from Shein. Like, and I feel so fucking cheap, but that's what living check to check do to you. Like, at this point, just give me 1 million followers. Like, y'all, just please give me 1 million followers so I can just be rich at this point. Like, just make me rich.
This adulting thing is a scam. I got paid at 7 o'clock this morning. It is 4:50 right now, and my paycheck is gone. As soon as I get paid, pay my car note ahead of time because I don't even play like that. And then I paid my national grid bill. Then I paid Spectrum for my Wi-Fi. I'm literally in the parking lot of Aldi's right now to go grocery shopping. Then I have to go fill up my gas tank. I have my credit card bill. I have my phone bill. Oh my gosh. I don't understand life right now. I don't understand it. And if I want to really live, I have to get a second job. And I'm not doing that. So I'm in this never-ending cycle of paying my bills just to survive and nothing is left. I don't know if this is just because I'm in my early 20s and everybody's life is like this, or it's just my life. I am still super grateful that I can pay all my bills on my own and make it, because there was a time when God is good. I'm not complaining, but I am complaining. I don't know what I'm doing, but this is just crazy. This is crazy. Moral of the story, cash out me $5 million.
I am struggling. I don't know what it is, but this month my motivation has just been super low. Now, don't get me wrong, journey's still going great. I'm 112 down now, but I haven't been filming videos. I haven't been going live. And every time I think about it, I literally feel like I'm going to have a panic attack. I still really enjoy posting and responding to people's comments and having interactions. And it's not like I'm like a huge account where there's a whole bunch of pressure. So I don't know where this anxiety is coming from. I'm going to push myself to like get cute and film some videos for the next couple weeks so that I can just have them planned and scheduled and not have to worry about it. But I also wanted to share kind of where I'm at, looking like where I've been at. Because I don't know, I think being honest and open about the negative feelings is just as important as all of the fun, reassuring stuff.
Well, I was just telling my homegirl what plans I have for my paycheck after I get paid. And she was like, girl, you don't put no money aside after you pay the bills? Hell no. She was like, what if an emergency happens? I said, bitch, I live in the emergency. Every day is an emergency. If something comes up, like a bill or something, it's just gonna have to wait till I get paid again. I'm not gonna put my priorities and my needs on the back burner just to pay another bill that has to get paid any fucking way every fucking month. It's gonna get paid eventually. May not be today. It may not be until it's past due, but it's gonna get paid. There's no such thing as saving. I'm living in the now, okay? Tomorrow may not come. It's not promised to anybody. The money that I save is going to go to somebody else. So I might as well just make do with it right now. And don't get it wrong. I pay my responsibilities. I pay my bills. I do what I have to do. But whatever's left after the money that I've set aside, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to account this week $600 towards bills. And then when I get paid again, I'm going to put aside another $600 to $700 towards bills. But bitch, that money after that, that's me. That has my name written all fucking over it. Anything else that comes up while I am using and utilizing my prioritized money for my needs, it's gonna have to fucking wait.
Let this be your sign to change courses today. If you feel like you are stuck at a 9 to 5 job that you hate, I woke up another day and I'm going to my 9 to 5 job where I'm barely making any money, barely could pay my rent. I live in New York. If I wanted to have a family tomorrow, I could not survive a family. Anybody who knows me knows I want to get married. I want to have kids. I am so far from that reality because I am working this 9 to 5 job where I am barely making enough to survive. So I decided I'm just gonna restart. There's absolutely nothing wrong with restarting your life. I looked at myself this morning. Look, I feel like I look like a school prep boy, and I'm just gonna go back to school. That's what I decided. I ordered my transcript. I'm gonna go back to school. I don't even know what I'm gonna major in yet, but I'm just gonna absolutely start over. I need some stability. I need to be able to be like if this 9 to 5 shit don't work out, like what am I gonna do? If I, everybody wants to be big on TikTok and blow up on TikTok and be like a successful, amazing person. If that shit don't work out, what am I gonna do? I need something to fall back on. I have like imaginary goals right now where it's like the wife and the life that I want to live. We would be broke. We would be struggling. I refuse. I absolutely refuse. So yeah, I'm going back to school. Let this be a reminder. If you want to start over, stop going to that 9 to 5 job and being like, oh my gosh, I'm so miserable. I hate it and I'm stuck. Revamp. It's absolutely nothing wrong with rerouting. Yeah, let's go on this journey together. I'm about to reroute.
Don't let shame stop you from talking about your finances. Don't let it stop you from getting your stuff all the way together. And I'm saying this because last year, I was dead broke. I ain't have 2 pennies to rub together. I lie to you not. And the reason why I am where I am right now is because I decided that I was going to sit down, have a kumbaya with myself, put the shame away, and talk to somebody that knew something about finances. Now I have a job in finance. Now I have money in a savings account that I don't touch. I'm not making the most right now because I had to start over in a different career field, but I can save money. Yeah, I can. There's also no shame and telling someone that you are struggling. I did that. I don't lend out money that I don't have anymore. I don't. And you shouldn't either. Don't let society and what society talking about and people posting on Instagram, their lavish lives and all this. Don't let it stop you from reaching out to someone and asking them, hey, how do I get my finances together? Because that's the only way you're gonna get it together. Okay? And don't be going to Chat GPT. Yeah, it's cool, it's good. Talk to a real human. Talk to a human being. Okay? Love you. Bye.
Going to work broke is ghetto. Right now in my 30s, I got to get a second job. Like you have to have some type of sort of second or third income for you to be able to keep afloat. Like you would never guess that you would be 30 and be able to do this once you went to school and got a good degree and you went and got the job that you supposed to get. And like I'm in my 30s, I really don't want to be working. So I was tired of struggling paycheck to paycheck. So you know what? I put up on this girl live and she was talking about how she made money on live, how she made money within the first week of learning how to make money online. So I went and got the same course like her with Miranda, Lux Income. And when I tell y'all, I just did it with $0 to my name, I had no money in my bank account. I was on overdraft. And I just said, you know what, why not? Within the first week of getting to the program, I was able to make my first sale within the first week. So that's extra money. I didn't need to get a second job anymore. And y'all, if y'all just like me, like I had to get a second income, second job. I'm in my career and everything, but my paycheck is really just not enough. And I'm paycheck to paycheck. Y'all go ahead and like say me at the bottom because I know I'm not the only one. And we could just chat it up.
If you're somebody who grew up poor as hell, if you lived in the projects, everybody knew you was poor. You couldn't hide it. Yeah, well, fucked up. But as I got older and wiser, I learned that the kids in the suburbs, a good amount of they had be poor as fuck too. But the difference is they be poor in private. When you in the projects, bro, ain't no type of privacy, bro. Y'all had poor hell. Everybody right by know you poor hell. Your neighbors know you poor. The world know you poor. I remember we was kids and my homie stayed in the suburbs. And I'm like, damn, bro, y'all straight, man. Y'all got a car, 2-story crib. You know you were poor as hell when you thought people who had stairs in their crib, they went upstairs, you thought they were rich, they was having. That's how you know you were poor as fuck. Don't let them have a chimney. And one day, bro had his lunch, and I'm like, damn, bro, where your food at? He like, yeah, my parents are living paycheck to paycheck right now. Boy, like, what the hell, paycheck to paycheck? He like, man, we ain't got no money to spend till they get paid. All I heard, you ain't got no money to spend. What? Boy, yeah, rich as fuck, boy. You got stairs in the crib. And a car. Kind of find out they behind on the water bill. I ain't even thought of a water bill. He was telling me about a gas bill. Gas? Then one time I went over there, they was heating the house up with the oven. Boy, I thought that was only something we did in the projects, bro. I'm like, what? I was like, damn, boy, my whole life is a lie. And that's when I learned, like, a lot of people be poor as hell living paycheck to paycheck, but it be levels to the poor, and it be looks to the poor. Because some people can be poor in private. Some people can't. So when you all the way, like, all the way fucked up, everybody finna see it, everybody finna know. That's how you know you overly poor, because you poor in public.
You ever get paid, pay all your bills, and then a few days later, dread checking your bank account because you already know what you're going to see and you literally just got paid. You worked your ass off for that paycheck. The bills are paid, so technically you should feel good, right? But instead, you're sitting there thinking, how much do I actually have left until payday? And that feeling, I am so fucking over it. And honestly, that's why I'm here. That's why I keep showing up for myself and trying to build something different. Because I don't want this to be my normal forever. But wanting more isn't gonna change shit. I deserve more than working my ass off just to constantly be worried about money. If I want my life to change, I have to put my big girl panties on, stop letting every fucking excuse get in my way, and actually do something about it. So, yeah, I'm a little bummed today, but I'm still showing up.
I said I was going to post on this account every single day, and I am definitely not doing that. But I've been busy, in my defense, doing good things. So I said on my first video that my goal for Q2 of 2026 is my health and my financial stability. Let me tell you what, I had a goal to save $2,500 in the month of May to move out and feel comfortable in my finances when I move. I was living paycheck to paycheck up until April. And then April hit, and I was like, I have to move. Something's got to fucking give. And I was like, I'm going to save $2,500. And I told a friend that, and this is no hate at all whatsoever, but she was like, how much is your monthly income? Like, is that like possible for you to do? And at that point, not really. And it's halfway through May. It's May 15th. And I am so happy to say I will not only meet my goal for the month of May, but I will exceed my goal for the month of May. And it is really, really crazy when you're intentional and when you really have your mind on something, you will get it done. I did not drastically change my life. I still have the same job I had in April. I started doing side hustles. I started doing the little things that I could to make this goal a reality, and it fucking worked, bro. It fucking worked. And I am just really proud of myself, and I'm really excited, and I want to keep the good times going. And I don't ever want to be where I was in April ever again. So happy Friday. Bye. Love you. Save your money.
I'm actually so fucking annoyed, and I really got to talk about it because the reality is, in my fucking adult life, I have only had insurance for 2.5 years since I've been 18. I don't think you actually understand how fucking hard it is. In fact, I'm sure you do because my audience is my audience, and I know that y'all feel the fucking struggle and the shit that I be going. What the fuck are all these? I can't. Look at all these fucking Waymos, bro. Fucking stopping fucking traffic because they're fucking idiots. Fucking 8 Waymos in a fucking row, bro. But yeah, I have only had insurance for 2.5 years of my fucking adult life, bro. And I feel like I'm dying. I feel like I'm dying. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about how the fact that I had a recommendation, or not a recommendation, a referral to go to a cardiologist, got scheduled 8 months out. And then they called me and I had to get scheduled another month out after that. I never got to the cardiologist. Oh, and the best part is that the cardiologist was just gonna do extra testing, and if those tests nothing was wrong, I then had to go to a neurologist because of the TBIs that I've experienced. So that's cool, right? What else? The reality is this whole conversation right now is about therapy. So shout out to everybody who has access to therapy. That's so great. That's so cool for you. Like, I would love that. I would fucking love that because there's so many days that I genuinely feel so close to fucking my third fucking attempt, and I don't, like, I just, shout out to not having insurance. Shout out to everybody who lives their adult fucking life without insurance, who has mental health problems, who has physical, maybe cardiac, maybe neurology issues, but you don't have insurance. So what can you do, right? You just got to keep going. You're doing so fucking good.
This housing crisis is a real thing. I walk every morning in my complex, and every week almost I see people have been evicted. And where it used to be that there were places that provided resources for families going through financial hardships, a lot of these people have been depleted of their funds because that's just how many people are in need right now. So you can't even get help like you used to, when you can't afford to pay your rent because of whatever factors, because everybody's situation is not the same. But the main problem is people are not being paid enough to live a sustainable life. Like, you have to have a two-person income to sustain a livable situation where you're not struggling, where you're not, you know, paying robbing Peter to pay Paul. It's so sad. There is just no way in 2026 the minimum wage should be $7.25. Don't know which jobs are paying that, but the fact that there are jobs that pay that, it's ridiculous. And for some people that's their only option. And even $20 in 2026 is not sufficient to live a sustainable lifestyle. And this is not even my regular content, but I was on my walk this morning and saw two other people that had, their stuff was out on the curb. And a lot of us are not far removed from that. We're not mad enough. We're not mad enough.
So every now and then I'll go out on a limb and I'll ask my daughter's father for some money, knowing I'm never going to get it. Right. But life is expensive. So every now and then I just throw it in there. But yesterday he decided to tell me that he lives paycheck to paycheck. He's married. He's in a 2-income household. All right, cool. But I decided to snap back because that comment irritated me a little because I have 2 kids that I support on my own. You want to talk about living paycheck to paycheck, my guy. And I take care of my kids. Anyway, that's besides the point. Let's kind of spend 30 seconds and talk about bills. So it is almost August 1st, which means rent is due. My car payment is actually still behind. I'm a couple payments behind with Affirm and Klarna, which I really hate, but it is what it is right now. I am $250 behind to the gym at the moment because her first cheer payment was supposed to, or uniform payment was supposed to come out, and I genuinely don't have it. What else? Something else. And there's, like I said, there's several loans I need to catch up on. My credit cards are behind, and it's just part of life right now. I did apply to a second job yesterday. And just fingers crossed, like even something part-time would take a huge load off a few nights a week. So maybe. But yeah, I'm going to start doing weekly updates since I am using TikTok to help pay for my kids' extracurriculars through the Creator Rewards program. Because like the bills will they'll be taken care of when they're taken care of, but my goal is to keep my kids active in their extracurriculars. So that is what I am using TikTok for. Any comments, reposts, shares, likes, I just really appreciate everything, and I want y'all to know I miss my kids. I miss spending time with my kids. So I have turned to TikTok. But anyway, welcome to a day in the life of Dallas.
Here we have to pay the house, car, our insurance, our internet, the NIPSCO, and the trash. Okay, and if we get paid our normal amount, subtract our bills, we're left with negative $300. That sounds great, right? Negative 300. Okay. So what if we don't pay the NIPSCO bill? Nope. That one's already a month past due. It'll get shut off. Pay the NIPSCO for sure. Cell phone. I can wait a couple weeks on the cell phone, but that's still not going to be enough. I can wait on the trash too. That'll give us $170. Can I make that last for 2 weeks for groceries and gas? The kids are going to need lunch money. And then after you figure out all the bills that you have to skip and put off and realize you're a month behind on all of your bills, you realize all the things you're not going to be able to do for months. And Christmas is coming up, and Halloween, and Thanksgiving. Do you remember when they told us we should have 6 months worth of living savings? We should have 6 months worth of bills saved up so that if anything happens, you're okay until you get another job. We're like a flat tire away from destruction. I'm never going to get caught up at this point. It's amazing what a couple $1,000s would do for my budget right now. And there's people out there with billions of dollars. A couple thousand would just let me get my head a little bit above. I'm just drowning. It's up to here, and I'm lucky to get up and gasp every once in a while. And trying not to show your kids how hard it is the worst. I never want my kids to feel it or worry. They're 7 and 10. They don't need to know. We're like a missing paycheck a week from not having a house. Kids don't need to know that. They don't need to know that. So when people say they're living paycheck to paycheck, we're living 3 paychecks ahead to 3 paychecks ahead at this point because the paycheck I'm about to get is gone and then some. I called my mom to ask for some money the other day. $30. I was like, Mom, do you have $30 I can have? No, we don't even have $30. She's like, I was going to ask you for some money. I'm over it. I'm tired of surviving. I want to live a little. Just a little. Without feeling guilty.
oh, you could budget better, you could do this, you could do that. With what? With what?
I have a theory that if you are earning between $150,000 and $300,000 a year, my guess is that you are struggling with the same thing and might be living paycheck to paycheck. As somebody who has recruited for over 15 years and now works with high earners wanting to make a career change or start their own business, financial insecurity is the number one reason why people don't just quit their jobs and start something on their own. They are high earners. They are often the breadwinners within their household, and they hold the insurance and have a cushy retirement. And I'm not talking about people being reckless. They might have kids in sports and activities. They have a mortgage. If you have a kid in daycare, often that is double the mortgage in some instances. And it really is just lifestyle creep. You're not buying designer bags. You're not going on extravagant vacations. You are living your normal life with birthday parties, with baby showers, with weddings, all normal life celebrations. And as a result, you're suffering. You're living paycheck to paycheck. And I feel like there's this unspoken rule where you look around and no one seems to complain about it or talk about money because there's so much shame and embarrassment. If you see families going on 5 trips a year and never struggling to pay for anything or put their kid in multiple activities, maybe they are struggling. Maybe they have family money. Maybe they have an inheritance. But I work with a lot of senior directors, VPs, and chiefs that are all within that income bracket. And I would say that most that have children are really struggling. And it causes them to pause making a move because they can't afford to take any sort of pay cut. And I say this coming from an honest place because I stepped away from my 6-figure career 3 years ago to start something on my own. And the first 2 years, bliss, honeymoon phase, I pretty much knew how much I was going to make each month. And the last year, my business has really struggled, and I've made probably half of what I made this time last year. And obviously, that's put a strain on my family because I have a mortgage, I've got 2 kids, and we've become a little bit behind. So when I say that I have goals to make $15,000 in a month, or I really need to be making $30,000 a month for this to make sense, it's not some income goal for content. It's to catch up on retirement, to provide a cushion and a safety net for my family. And that's just the reality that we are living in right now. And I don't think people talk about it enough because they're embarrassed about it. So I'm talking about it. What do you think?
This is going to be my last attempt to make this video. Hi, I am $180,000 in student loan debt. 160 that is federal, no, 160 that is private student loan debt. The rest is federal student loan debt. I pay around $2,400 a month, just shy of that for my private student loans, and then just shy of $300 for my federal student loans. So it's pushing $3,000 a month for my student loans. Plus I have my car payment and my car insurance and my rent. So yeah, I live paycheck to paycheck. I have multiple jobs. I have a job I have throughout the week. I have a job I have on the weekends. I have a side hustle. I work around 70 hours a week, paycheck to paycheck. And guess what happens in the last month? Something happens, clerical error, I don't know, $300 missing from my paycheck. Cool. We'll add it to the next one. They do, and then a different clerical error happens, and I lose $300 from the next paycheck. And then, on top of that, after that gets sorted out, the next week, I have someone, I don't live anywhere near Michigan. I live states away from Michigan. Someone has physically swiped my debit card at a mini mart in Michigan. And I called the fraud center and I said, hey, I did not swipe my card at a mini mart in Michigan. And they say, are you sure you didn't get gas? And I said, ma'am, $100 and some dollars. First of all, that's more than just gas. I have a 13-gallon tank. It takes $40 to fill it. And I filled it like 3 days prior to this like fraudulent charge. So I was like, no, I did not just forget I spent the money. Like, I live so paycheck to paycheck, I know where every dime is, every nickel, every penny. Even though they stopped making them, every penny, I know where it's allocated to. I do. So I'm trying to reason with them. I'm like, this was not me.
We have to figure this out. And they go, well, you physically swiped the card. I go, no, I didn't. They go, well, that must mean that someone had physically copied your card. So you must have swiped it somewhere for someone to go in and somehow read it and copy it. Here's the thing. I have tap, I have chip, I have the swipe. You cannot use the swipe unless the chip is broken. My chip is not broken. I have never swiped my card anywhere. So I really have no idea how this happened. So if someone else has any idea, or if your card's been stolen in a similar way where it was physically copied by someone and then used somewhere else, I would love to know like how that works or how that happens and how it might have happened to me. I try so hard to not get things stolen. I've had like 4 or 5 cards from this bank in the last 6 years. Usually like they get hacked and everyone has to get a new card. And I just haven't gotten rid of it yet. Because it's kind of like my backup. I only had $300 in the account. 100 got stolen. The rest got frozen. So it's like I'm out 300 from the paycheck, 300 for the other paycheck, and then technically 300 now for that bank card that the account's frozen. I have no access to it because that bank is a credit union and does not exist in the state I moved to, and I cannot go back to that state to withdraw the money from like the actual like checking account or savings account. I like only have the card in the app, so I have to wait till I have a new one. I have bills due, so it's gonna be hard to get those paid. But yeah, that's the update. I just really don't understand how this happens. I have like the Tim wallet where they're not supposed to be able to scan like your cards. I changed all my passwords. I'm just really perplexed on how you copy a card like that. So if anyone else was frauded in a similar way, well, let me know. Let me know how that went for you. Like, does this happen to a lot of people, or is this like a rare way to be scammed?
You know, I'm not here to compare my situation to anybody else's situation because at the end of the day, we are all struggling, especially in this economy. And although my situation is not as worse as anybody else's, it still is a struggle. So again, it's not about the comparison because in this economy, the overwhelming majority of us working class people are struggling. And I am one of the millions of healthcare workers who's living paycheck to paycheck. I want to give clarity on a couple of things. You can make a lot of money in healthcare, but it comes at a cost. I wanted to hop in and be a part of the conversation that Casanova started about truthful disclosure about your finances in this economy. Some of y'all gonna be like, you make good money, you make good money. I do. But when I look at my check as a healthcare worker, I'm lucky if I get half my check after federal taxes have been taken out, after state taxes have been taken out, after my retirement has been taken out, after all of the shit that they charge me a la carte on my insurance, my vision, my supplemental disability. I barely get a little bit more than half my check. And it's a lot of people in healthcare that make well above minimum wage like I do that are still living paycheck to paycheck. And I'll be very honest. I owe the IRS about $20,000 in back taxes, almost $20,000 in back taxes that I give them a payment for every month. I have credit card debt. I have a car note, and I still have a small balance on my student loans, but it's still debt. I live in DC. And living in DC is not cheap. And I make well above minimum wage. And even though I'm not struggling to pay my rent, and the only reason why I'm not struggling to pay my rent is because I took my time to find something that I knew I could pay without struggling. But I don't live in a luxury apartment. I don't live in no extremely safe, nice, clean neighborhood. The neighborhood that I just moved to is pretty decent. My apartment is more than decent. And my rent is only $12.50 in DC. But Southeast DC, that comes at a cost. And the only reason why I'm saying all this is because with all the stuff that we are being taxed on, the cost of living, it's crazy. And I see why people crash out. Because you got to go to work and you have to put up with all the frustrations of dealing with what you have to deal with at your job. And then when you get your check, the overwhelming majority, if not all of your check, goes to bills, meaning cost of living. And I have definitely made my mistakes when it comes to my financial literacy has not been the best, like most Americans. So to all you motherfuckers that want to get on here and try to be like, oh, you should know better, you should know better. The overwhelming majority of Americans don't have good financial literacy. That's why so many of us are in debt. But that still doesn't mean that the cost of living does not need to be motherfucking addressed. Because I work hard for what I have. Like right now, I got a stack of tickets that I haven't paid because I don't have the money for it right now. Every time I turn around, I get a ticket in the mail. Even is that the cost of living isn't just your rent. It's gas. It's the cost of living. It's the cost that you have to pay if you take public transportation. Insurance is sky high in DC because you don't have a lot of parking spaces in DC. So you have to park on the street and they tax the fuck out of you for it, regardless of if you have a good record or a driving record. And I don't have a bad driving record. I don't. But like I said, I got a stack of tickets that they keep sending me, and the tickets that they sending me ain't $20 or $30. 70, 100, 150. And then if you don't pay the motherfucker in 30 days, they double it. In this fucking economy. And at the end of the day, they still have systems in place to keep you down even when you make good money. So like I say, even though my struggle is not as bad as some people, it still is a struggle. And at the end of the day, our system is broken and it needs to be fixed. That's it. That's all. Bye.